façam as suas perguntas também no chat, por favor, que eu traduzirei as perguntas para o Elio e a Betânia escreverá a tradução no chat.
Very good. Okay, also I'm Cristiano Verducci speaking, and I'm the host of this Zoom meeting. So I thank you very much being here at this meeting. We are going live also. I'm admitting more people now. There are about 70 now, and probably someone else is asking to come in. So we have more time, please, to accepting everybody, and at the same time having Elio that is, I think, is in, but okay, when everyone and each one of you, everybody are welcome and are in. Okay, we give the speak to of Elio. And what I'd say also that if you have okay, question, this is very important. If you have personal question first, it's important that you be in touch with Julia, that organizing a list. So please, Betania, you can translate this. It's very important. Also using the chat for making the question.
Ok. So, por favor, pessoal, se vocês tiverem perguntas, então as perguntas serão apenas pelo chat, tá bom? Digitem as perguntas no chat diretamente para a Júlia Barani, tá? Ali onde vocês veem embaixo to everyone, vocês cliquem ali, aparece a Júlia Barani, aí a pergunta é direto para ela, tá? Ok, Cristiano.
Okay, so it's very important that you contact if you have a question, personal question. Elio appreciate very much that you have personal questions. So yeah, it's important that you be in touch, or you chat privately also, or on the chat, on the public chat here on the left, on the right, of course, of you. So you have there is the public chat and private chat. So you can chat privately to Julia Barani or on the public chat. So we can have your question and we can do this list. Okay, you can translate,
então as
Betania.
perguntas, sim, as perguntas, inclusive se vocês tiverem perguntas pessoais, então, no chat, tá? Para a Júlia Barani, ou para quem vocês endereçarem a pergunta, tá? Que ela vai traduzir. O Elio aprecia muito quem tem perguntas pessoais, qualquer tipo de pergunta, tá? E a tradução eu vou fazer no chat escrito.
Yes, this is very important. Personal question means not personal question of Elio, but your personal question.
As perguntas pessoais, perguntas pessoais não são perguntas pessoais a respeito da vida do Elio, assim, né? São perguntas pessoais de vocês.
In a simple way, means if you have your something that happens in your life, in some problems you have at the moment, something really of you yourself, and not generally speaking, or what's happening, you know, around the world or to other people, but to you yourself. This is very important. I would like to appreciate this because Elio is appreciate very much this kind of question first. Thank you. Betania, you can.
Ok, eu digitei então a tradução do que o Cristiano falou. E é assim que vai funcionar a nossa tradução, tá, gente? Para quem fala português. O Cristiano ou o Elio vai falando e eu vou digitando aí embaixo.
Exactly. And, okay, let's see if now there are more participants that are asking, but at the same time, we are very close to start to welcome Elio Dana, the author of the School for Gods book, and of course, the guest of this meeting. I would like to also, I'm fine to, where is to co-host Johnny, okay. Okay. So, well, let's see if Elio is on, and if you, at the moment, there is no other people to admit him. Okay, Elio is here. Thank you. Okay, Elio. So I will thank you very much, everybody, and we are ready for starting the meeting. We are also go live on the page of Elio on Facebook. And thank you very much, and say welcome to Elio, Dana. Thank you, Elio.
Thank you. Hi, Julia.
Hi,
Julia.
Elio.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
The world is as you dream it. The world is such because you are such. The world is as it is because you are as you are, and not vice versa. Vision and reality are one and the same. Inner states and outer events are one and the same. Whatever happens out there has to have your inner approval and consent to happen. Nothing can happen without your will and intent. Then if in your life you encounter disasters, difficulties, disease, it is all up to you. All and everything depends upon you. You are the creator, the author, the dreamer, the producer of your own life. Just one principle. If you keep it with you, it compresses all my philosophy. And it will be of great help to you. The slightest change in your being moves mountains in the world of events. The world that we neglected and forgot for so many years it is the world of causes. We got identified with the outer world, believing that out there exists the world of causes, and we have been misled and got lost in a world which is just a projection, a creation of your inner being. I created the School of Business, the European School of Economics, to try to arrive to young people and let them understand that all comes from within. If you realize this, all fears come to an end. And when fears are gone, everything goes right. I was very young and I wanted to change the outer world. I wanted to change what I didn't like, what was violent and unjust in the outer world. And I went through music. I was an artist, musician, trying to change the world through music. I became a businessman. I became an educator, creating schools and universities. I tried with through technology to change the outer world. But they are all means that will never transform anything outside yourself. Then, long time ago, I turned towards myself in a total silence and solitude. And I discovered that I could change the world. At will. You yourself can remove all disasters, wars, conflicts, disease from the outer world by simply turning towards yourself and see that all the injustice and wars and terror attacks and viruses are within yourself. And only you yourself can change the world. Nobody can do it in your place. No one. You are the very source and cause of whatever is happening out there. You yourself. This is for me a great opportunity to talk to you yourself. Because you are with yourself and I am with you in your room, in your house, telling you that you yourself are the very cause of all and everything. Don't blame don't blame the others. Don't blame the outer world for your own misfortunes. Don't complain. Don't just self-justify. Doing that, you will worsen yourself. And you will get disappointed. Many of you is going through meditation and some techniques, some methods or systems to try to create a better life. And I tell you, there is a way very fast to change yourself. And it is not an outer technique or method. If you turn towards yourself, you will encounter ghosts, giants, aliens, enemies, that try to scare you. And usually, you just try to distract yourself, to forget what is happening within yourself. And then you go through all your life guided, ruled, governed by something that you didn't want to touch and see, which is right under your nose. If you are able to chase your negative emotions, worries, doubts, if you are able to chase your destructive thoughts, your negative imagination, you will see that you will never be able to seize it, to catch it. Because fears, worries, doubts, guilt, and all negative emotions are just your own inventions and creation. Because you are afraid of the unlimited. You are afraid of the infinite, which is you yourself. Then I create a school of business to let young people to understand that having depends upon being, and not vice versa. This is the inner economy. This is what is coming in the next future. The inner economy is the answer to all and everything. Inner economy is self-awareness, to know what is going on within yourself. That will take you to self-mastery, to self-government. You will never depend upon any regime or government outside yourself. And yet, you will respect all laws, religions, politics, the outer economy, but you will never belong to that. You yourself are the dreamer. And the dreamer is a revolutionary. A subversive person, but not against anything outside himself. He turns towards himself, herself, and see that your inner conditions are creating the world that you see and touch. If you start observing yourself, you will understand why the world is so violent and aggressive and unjust. You will understand that there is no violence in the world, but in yourself. Therefore, only you yourself can change what apparently is unchangeable. I touched many topics in my books, and many of you read my books, and the principles that I wrote and I wanted to be owned by whoever could be in touch with the book. And I am here just to answer some questions, to see if there is someone of you who tried to apply those principles to his, her life. They are very simple, but very difficult to apply. Because you have to abandon mainly your laws. And which are your laws? They are your sufferings. That is the most difficult task, to abandon your sufferings. And no one can do that for you. No help can come in from outside. You yourself have to tackle your forgotten world, neglected world, your inner world, and see that your own forgetfulness created confusion and chaos, first within yourself, and then in the outer world. Again, the slightest change in your inner being moves mountains and projects yourself as a giant in the world of events. Because you are the dreamer. You yourself. Okay. Please, Yulia, you can ask to.
Okay, Elio, the first question is by Janine Brusaka, and she's asking, from the teachings by the dreamer, which are the professional activities which are most interesting for now, for this moment, the planetary time?
We are going through a very extraordinary moment. What I predicted a long time ago, the era of joblessness it takes still a couple of decades, but man is destined to a joblessness where he can enjoy his life. The work is a condemnation. The absence of work is a blessing. I predicted that computers, automation, robots would substitute man in all and everything. Manual work, intellectual work, and this is happening. We are entering in an era which I called the golden creative leisure. Leisure will be our new activity. To love yourself inside, to create, to project art, paintings, music. This is what belongs to man. Golden creative leisure. Is there another question?
Yes. Your book cites the manuscript by Lupelius, which was bound by a couple of friends. What is the intention of this publication?
You know, there are things that you cannot tell. And you have to use a sort of device to tell, people something that cannot be said. There are things that if you go through the books, you will see that are very subversive and could be misunderstood. Then I created a character that could tell things that are impossible to tell humanity. Could be offensive, could be against some institutions. Especially many philanthropic institutions. Could go against the religions, but that was not, I didn't mean that, but could be misunderstood. And after leading. Just one phrase, just to one sentence. The victim is always guilty. Do you imagine one day in all the courts and tribunals, instead of saying the law is equal for everybody, you could substitute it with the victim is always guilty? Would be a revolution. Could be misunderstood, because you yourself are the victim and the victimizer. I didn't mean any victim outside myself, outside yourself. You victimize yourself, and you indulge in a sort of victimhood, and that creates disasters, calamities, disease. But it is just you yourself loving your inner sufferings, your inner pain, sorrow, fears, because you believe they can protect you, but they will not. The world outside yourself is just reflecting what you are, and then you cannot hide. If you have a difficult life, if you encounter disasters or accidents or disease, it's just because you are indulging in your inner insanity. Then turn towards yourself, and it is there where you have to practice sort of warriorship, sort of a kingship. You have to govern your inner world and not be governed. Be a king, and the kingdom will come. If you by chance inherit a kingdom, by chance you will lose it. Then you can possess a kingdom only if you yourself become a king. If you are a king. To be a king means to be responsible. Inner responsibility. Responsibility means to answer, to be answerable. And only you yourself are the answer to all and everything. Be a king, and the kingdom will come. You can possess only what you are responsible for. Then inner responsibility and you can possess. If you possess before being responsible, then sooner or later you will lose everything. Next.
Excuse me, I don't see Julia. I don't know where is Julia. Julia, please, can you? Ah, okay.
Oh.
Somebody
Okay,
probably
I wasn't unmuted.
Unmute probably with someone. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, Julia, please, thank you.
And this is by Giannini Brusacca. In your opinion, why the majority of people in this planet is not able to live in abundance? What does it hinder their plenitude?
Perché la maggior parte delle persone riescono a vivere in ricchezza.
La maggior parte delle persone.
Non riescono a vivere in ricchezza.
A student of mine once asked, sorry if I can appear materialistic, and but my only desire is to become rich, very rich. And I answered saying, only you yourself can limit your prosperity and richness. No one, nobody can limit your abundance and prosperity. Then you have limits. You have to abandon limits because you can become immensely rich. You are a conflictual person. You are limiting yourself within. And you find in the outer world the same limitation, the same hindrances, the same boundaries that you have within. Abandon your limits, your inner limits, which is a great task. And you will see that there is no limit to your richness. To answer your questions, I can say, don't worry about the others. Worry about yourself. Because when you really realize that all and everything is up to you, depends upon you, you can help the entire world. You can help the others. The others are depending upon you. The others are suffering because you are suffering. The others are limited because you yourself are limited. Abandon your limits, and the infinite richness will come from within, and the outer world will only mirror it, reflect it. When you abandon your limits and conflicts within yourself, the world will be all gratitude to you. Thank you.
Next question is by Felipe, and he is asking, how do you maintain or keep the inner state intact?
Only you yourself can do this. No one can do it for you. Your inner states are already intact. But you covered that with all sorts of layers and layers of ballast. And you are in total apnea. Breathless. Just because you are identifying with your negative emotions and with the outer world, which is just mirroring your inner conditions, then you first project negative emotions on the screen of the outer world, and then you yourself become victim of your own projections. Your inner states are intact. You have just to eliminate lots of layers and layers of useless things. And you will go back some integrity. There is a teacher that is teaching. It's nice, it's good. Someone that is translating probably. But anyway, you have to return to your integrity. As the prodigal son, the legend of the prodigal son in the New Testament, you have to understand that you enslave yourself. You imprisoned yourself. You victimized yourself. And you just forgot your inner integrity, which belongs to you. It is not something that you have to reach, to achieve. Your inner integrity belongs to you. It is your very nature. Costas, is it you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Really nice to see you.
Next.
Next.
Okay. This is from Solange Gonçalves. In the book, The School for Gods, you talk about changing the past through the present moment. How can we do this practice of forgiveness in a true manner?
You shouldn't forgive the past. If you try to forgive the past, you will enforce it. You will strengthen it. It is like to strengthen something that does not exist. The past does not exist. It is your imagination. The only real moment and time is this very moment. This instant, which is infinite. There is no limit in this very instant. But we are not used to live in timelessness. Time has become our boss. We are on the payroll of time. We have to understand that time is a good servant, but not a good master. Then if you are driven, ruled, governed by time, you will get lost. This is why I told you about the era of joblessness, the era of golden creative leisure. Because we have to return to something that belongs to us, belongs to you, which is your inner integrity. The past is dust. Past is dust. It does not exist. Memory does not exist. It's your own invention. The future does not exist. This very moment is your time, because it is timeless. It is a vertical time. You can go deep, you can go high, but not horizontally, because the linear time, sooner or later, becomes a vicious circle. And you get imprisoned and entrapped in something that you yourself created. It is a self-created prison. No one imprisoned you, but just you yourself. Then you have the key to get free and liberate yourself, but you don't want to. I meet thousands and thousands of people. They all say, I want to change. But when they are before something that could let them to come out of their own prison, they turn back and give up. If someone of you has read my books, there is a chapter dedicated to the antagonist. And the antagonist is your creature, is something that you invent, just to grow and develop yourself and go beyond. The antagonist is a blessing. The antagonist is your great ally. The antagonist loves you much more than you can love yourself. The antagonist knows the way, and you don't. The antagonist knows the shortcut for you to return to your own integrity. Then don't get scared about something that appears greater, bigger, stronger than you, because nothing can be stronger than you yourself. Nothing. In my life, I had great enemies, and all my blessing goes to them, because without them, I couldn't be what I am now. Next.
This is from Gustavo Paolillo. Is the dreamer a real being?
Of course. You are asking yourself, am I the dreamer? Only you yourself can answer. I am sure that you are the dreamer. You yourself are the dreamer. But you forgot. Then now you have to remember. You shouldn't achieve anything extraordinary. You have to remember that you are the dreamer, author, creator of whatever is happening and whatever you see and touch in your own world. Next.
This is from Solange Gonçalves. For people who are not that young, how can we change ourselves? Is there a time yet? Do we have time yet?
We are all victims of time. We are all victims of a description of time. Also, the inevitability of death is a description. We have to understand that we are all victims of a description, not of a real life. Then we have to get rid of the description to understand that aging happens and death happens for a description. We are all victims of the idea that aging and death is inevitable. We have to get rid of this description, and you will see that you will project your ageless, your deathless, and it will be mirrored by the world through science and technology. I am sure that in a few decades, we will arrive to be longevous and immortal, physically. By now, try to die less within yourself. Try to die lesser and lesser within yourself. To die within means to harm yourself within. To be dependent on fears, worries, and all negative emotions. Try to die less every day, because we die thousands of times during the day. If you die lesser and lesser, you will see that something happens, which is miraculous. The description will die, and something real will get closer and closer to you. Longevity and deathlessness belong to you. It is not something that we have to achieve. We age because we are imitating something that we are projecting, a description. A description that there is a beginning and an end. The description that there is a birth and death. And we are entrapped in a prison called time. Time is a description, is not real. And we have to become timeless. That means to return to your own integrity. And you will see that longevity and deathlessness, or what they call immortality, is your own possession and nature.
Okay. Next question by Katerina was exactly about immortality. So you already answered it.
Good.
Now from Matteo Carosa. What is the level of responsibility and how you can raise it?
Responsibility is an inner matter. Responsibility means to respond, to be in charge of your inner shop. You have to just put the right price on the right good, and try to understand that inner responsibility inner responsibility is the answer to all and everything. To be responsible within yourself means that you know what is going on within yourself. You are in charge. You are aware of what is happening within. And one day you will be mastering what is going on within. That is inner responsibility. Don't worry about the outer responsibility, because that is only consequential. It will reflect your inner level of integrity, your inner level of responsibility. Then when you are in charge within, you will see that things outside yourself will be serving you, will be at your command. And to be in charge within means to govern outside yourself. And you will see your business and your outer activities to improve and grow, just because you are paying attention to your inner world. Every time you turn towards yourself, you are improving the world outside yourself. Each second that you dedicate, that you turn towards your inner conditions, you are improving the world outside yourself. Then be permanently within, and the world will appear as a heaven on earth. I am not talking about meditation. Be very careful. If you meditate, okay, it's okay, but do not indulge in meditation, because you will, after a long time, meditating, concentrating, and contemplating, you will be disappointed. You have to go beyond. Don't indulge in meditation. I had many people indulging in meditation for many, many years and decades. And they died disappointed, defeated. It's okay, you are meditating, but one day you have to abandon it. Otherwise it becomes an obstacle to your going beyond. I am not against spiritual people, as someone said. I'm just saying that you are going through something that is still lying to yourself. And you have to realize that that lie is an obstacle. That meditation in time becomes a boundary. Then you have to overcome that state of apparent calm or quietness, because your inner world is very, very important. Don't try to get rid of it. Your inner fight is very, very important. That is the portal, the key to something incredible. Your inner world is the access to the impossible. Next.
Next. Maria Fernanda Perfeito is asking, in this moment, we are still having the necessity to have an income. I am trying to discover something that satisfies me and I can do with enthusiasm and feeling happy. I still did not find a task which could help to shed a light to this answer in me.
You mean that the outer life is not giving you some support, economic support or financial support, because you can survive this period of time. Is this what you are asking for? I mean, I have to say again that whatever is happening out there, you could be evil or could be good. You could be living a hell or a paradise, but you deserve whatever is happening out there. The world out there is perfect. Perfection means that it is mirroring you, your inner level of being, your inner level of responsibility, your inner level of understanding, perfectly, impeccably. And the world is perfect. It's telling you to turn towards yourself and see that the very reason of your lack of money or financial support depends solely only upon you. There is something that is happening within you that is creating lack of money and supports, financial supports. You have to turn towards yourself and see where the very cause and reason dwells. And it is always you, in you. The world is just, perfect, and it is obeying perfectly to all your commands. And if you are projecting misery, suffering, inner insanity, then the world is telling you all the truth about yourself. The truth and nothing but the truth. But we do not accept it because we are always asking for help coming from outside, and can never happen because a dreamer, a warrior, a creator is a self-fulfilling being. He, she doesn't depend on anything outside himself, herself. Things happen. Money will arrive. A financial support will arrive only when you deserve it. Then do not desire, deserve. Do not desire, deserve. Thank you.
She is explaining a little bit more about her question. She wants to find her talent or her mission, her dream.
Sorry, I was distracted. Yes, yes. Can you say it again, please?
Yes. She is further explaining her question. She doesn't know how to find her talent or mission.
If you try to find your talent outside yourself, you will never find it. Talent is a reflection of your inner attitude. Talent is your dreaming coming true. Then you are trying to receive from the effect. Turn towards the very cause of all talents. Of all realization. Turn towards yourself, be with yourself. And try to understand what is going on within yourself. And you will find a way. Each of us has got buried, hidden within himself and herself his, her very dream. Each of us. You have only to be able to eliminate the superfluous, the useless, the unnecessary things to understand and see your dream and your capacities and your talents coming from within. You see, I was a musician in my life, businessman, and people were saying I was very talented. And But I was not. The dream was not the music. The dream is much, much more. I could say I realized myself, saying that I did what I really dreamed. But that was not my dream. When your integrity reveals, you will see that there is no outer activity or talent or whatever you call realization that can be compared to what you remembered and conquered within yourself. Let the world reflect what you are. If you didn't find your mission and talent, it means that you are identified with unnecessary things. Turn towards yourself, and there you will find the way.
Okay, next is from Dana Michaela. If we want to take action into something, but we are not yet fully responsible inside, how can we manage our inner state so that we can get closer to it?
Can you say it again? I didn't understand very well the question.
If we want to take action with something, but we are not yet fully responsible inside, how can we manage our inner state so that we can get closer to it?
Yeah. Whatever happens in the world is reflecting your own level of understanding, your own level of being. Then you have to accept what you are right now within and try to learn how to act in the outer world. Act means acting as an actor, as an actress. By now, you cannot do otherwise. You have to accept your inner condition. And in the outer world, you have to start to act as an actor, as an actress. But this time, consciously. We are all actors and actresses, but we are unaware of it. We really believe that we are in acting in real life. We really believe that the outer world is the real world. But we have to understand that in what you call real world, the reality outside yourself, is a sort of theater, a cinematographic set. You have to learn how to act your role impeccably. Whatever you are right now, whatever you are in the eyes of the others, you have to act what the others want you to be. You have to act impeccably. You have to act consciously what the others want you to play. This is very, very difficult. We are all actors and actresses, but we are acting unconsciously. We really believe in what we occupy, the position that we occupy in the world. We have to stop believing and act consciously the role, the mask, the part that the others, the world wants you to play. And you will see that if you act impeccably outside yourself, that means without believing in what you're doing, in what is your position in life, you will see that your inner responsibility will grow. But you have to act consciously your part. And that is, if you are a mother, if you are a father, a son, a daughter, and you have to act. Acting makes you real. Children are great actors and actresses. Very, very young children. They are acting. They know how to act. Then we forget. And we enter into the world of the adults, believing that is the real world. And we forget to act. And we allow our children to forget. If you remember that you are a dreamer, you will see that just remembering it, just thinking about the fact that you are a dreamer, the reality, or what you call reality, will change. Then, be aware of what is going on within yourself and act your part outside yourself. If you are the last one in the world, or if you are the president of the United States, you have to act. Acting will make you great. Every time you act consciously, you are jumping into a new zone, into a new dimension. Every time you act consciously, intentionally. Acting. Thank you.
Okay. Next is by Elizabeth. When you reach a time in your life in which you prefer silence over talking, how do you respond to false conclusions from others?
You have to act. Don't worry about the others. The others are just reflecting you, what you are. If you see that they are false, it's just because they are denouncing you yourself as something that is a falsity, a fake within yourself. then use the others. Use the violence of the others. Use the misunderstanding of the others, because they are telling you all the truth about you. If you accept it as something that really belongs to you, that falsity or fake or misunderstanding will disappear from within. But you have to accept it as something that belongs to you. The others have no fault. Don't try to find fault in others, because they are pure. The world is a purity. It's just reflecting you. The world is totally passive. And you are the author, creator, producer, dreamer, whatever is happening out there. Then don't blame the world for its injustice or violence or falsity, because the world is just a very white screen where you can project all your life. And if you forget that the world is just your creature, it's something that you yourself create in every instant, then you cannot blame the world for something which is wrong, because that insanity, as I told you before, is within you. If you are aware of it, it disappears, and the world will be transformed. The world will reflect your state of awareness, of attention. Thank you.
There is a question upon this question by Luciana Zapata. She's asking, when you say acting, do you mean to fully be yourself?
Good. That's nice. If you really act, it means that you, behind the mask, behind your role, behind your part, you are ruling and governing your life. Nice question. Yes. You become real. You will understand that you are behind, that show. And to know which is your part in that show, it means to be real and to drive and guide, your character, the character that the script writing wants you to act, and being conscious of it, be intentionally conscious of it, that makes you great. There are many people I met during my tours. There are many people and this is it's impossible to see all of you. hundreds and hundreds of people. But it's nice. I thank you, all of you. There is some question coming from, excuse me, Julia. There is a question coming from, many questions coming from Facebook.
Oh.
Yeah, there are many, because I think we are in streaming.
So we have a couple of more here, not a
Okay.
couple, a lot of them here.
Right.
We can stay for another 2 hours, I think. There is one from Katia Bueno. I have an impression that I need to hear those words every day, because the world outside takes away our attention and our inner certainty. Is there any practice that you used with yourself to help with this inner change?
The world outside yourself is not attracting your attention. It's reflecting your inner conditions. You yourself are free. You cannot be attracted by your own creature and creation. It's impossible that the below is more than you, is governing yourself. It's impossible. The world outside yourself is your creature, and it depends upon you for all and everything. The world is attractive because you get lost in the creation and you forget the creator. But if you turn towards yourself, you will see that whatever happens out there has to have your inner consent to happen. Nothing can happen without your inner approval. You are in charge. And the world obeys to all your commands. That's why you cannot blame the world for its violence or wars or conflicts and disasters, because all comes from you yourself, from within. If you accept, if you are conscious of it, it's you will be mastering your inner world, and the world will know everything about your conquest, which is self-mastery. And it will reflect this totality. It will reflect this integrity. And you will live in a paradise. The world will serve you. The world will be at your command for all and everything. Thank you.
This is from Salim. If I abandon my current limits, there will be new limits in my new state. So can we say that there is no end of limits, just there is only acceptance of limits? which enables the abandoning of them. So
Good,
we
good.
do we
Good.
use the subject to abandon the subject itself?
I didn't get it. It's a nice word, you know, nice question. If you are conscious of your limits, they will disappear. If you accept your limits and you are conscious that there are limits, they disappear. But you are not conscious of it. You are indulging in limits. You believe that limits are your life, that you yourself. But if you understand and become conscious of your limitations, if you are conscious of your fear within, it will disappear. Because consciousness, when arrives, you know, eliminates all shadows and limits and negative emotions, fears and negative and destructive thoughts. When consciousness comes, when attention comes, they disappear. And when fear disappears, when your negative emotion disappear, the outer world is reflecting this state of deathlessness. And everything is in the right place. Everything will, in the world will be something that will reflect your absence of limits. And you will become whatever you want to. And you will see that if you possess something, then you will never lose it, just because you are aware of it.
Okay, from Iremate. How to maintain my inner integrity? What is the key to be within now, not past nor future? And are there some things that people did not complete? I just leave it? Shall I just leave it as it is, since past is dust?
I didn't understand. Just it was.
Okay,
Difficult.
those are three questions. Maybe I should. Yeah.
Yeah, there are three questions.
Yeah. How to maintain my inner integrity?
I mean, you are integrity. I mean, how can something maintain your integrity if you are integrity? I mean, it's you are already separating yourself from yourself. You are, your very nature is integrity. Now we have just to eliminate what is covering something that you, let's say, you buried and forgot in your life, which is integrity. You have just to reveal it, to let it, to manifest. And then this is only through remembering yourself you can do this. You forgot yourself. And then integrity was just like the sun covered by clouds. You have to eliminate clouds with the wind of self-observation. And you will see that the sun will shine again, which is your integrity.
How do you stay within now, nor past nor future?
Realizing that the past and future are lies. If you realize that the past and future is just imagination, it's a sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy. You really believe that that happens, but never happened. What you see as a past is just your projection coming from this very now.
If you left something undone, should you just leave it like that, since past is dust?
But that is just imagination. You are projecting all your past and your very birth from this very moment. Because you are the dreamer, the author. And you cannot, if you are in the here now, you understand that whatever happened in the past was just a projection of this, your inner state. If you want to remember something negative in the past, you have to be negative right now. You have to kill yourself right now. And then you think to remember something in your past that was very negative. But that is just imagination. In this very moment, you can create a beautiful past. Just in this very moment, you can eliminate all the disasters that you imagined to have in the past. But you have to turn into this state of nowness to understand that past is just an invention, imagination coming from this very moment, from your inner conditions. I know that it is against all your conventional thinking, but that is my realization. I cannot tell you something different. This is what I discovered. And I wrote this in my books. And if you just think about, you shouldn't apply this to your life because you will not succeed. You have just to think about. Thinking about those principles, you will see that things will change. And you will find yourself in a better position. Just thinking about.
Yes. Gustavo, okay?
Yes.
Gustavo Vieira, I would like to hear your thoughts about the sense of belonging, embracing others, love, and transcendence. How are these concepts connected with the School for Gods?
You can do something for the others. You can love the others only if you love yourself. If you stop dying within yourself, you can tell your children, your wife or your husband, I love you, I love you, I love you. But that is just, I can say an abuse of the word love. Love in Latin is amor. In French, amour, in all the Latin languages is amors, which means absence of death. Then I love you, it means that we are in absence of death. This is stronger. Otherwise we enter into something that is just a word, and it is an abuse of the word. Then you can love the others only if you love yourself inside, not just love yourself. You have to love yourself inside, which means you have to stop harming yourself. You have to stop self-sabotage, which is something that happens in every instant of your life. And if you die less, if you stop killing yourself within, you will see that the world is a beautiful place to live in.
Okay. Now, from Gustavo Paulillo, your sayings in the book, nobody does it alone. Where are the schools of being in our days?
Yeah, the schools in our days are still existing, but you will never find it or them until you are ready. The school will come when you're ready. You shouldn't worry about. And you will understand that the outer school, the school of being, comes when the school within yourself is mature, is ready. Then you will understand that there is no school outside yourself, but only within yourself. The school for God is within, not outside.
Now, from Daniela, she writes in English. Hi, Professor. I'm Daniela from São Paulo, Brazil. Among many interesting ideas in the book, I found the impeccability concept fascinating because it's very practical and applicable to our daily basis. Could you please comment a little more about it?
I don't know if your language translates impeccability in the right way. Impeccability means absence of sin. Senza peccato. Absence of sin. And sinning means to miss the target. Can you understand this? Missing the target. Then this is sin. But many religions translated the sin in a very wrong way. when they say you are a sinner, you know, they create a sort of sense of guilt within yourself. A sinner is someone who missed the target, was not able to enter into the center of himself, herself. Then impeccability means to find the way, how you can get closer and closer to the core of your inner being. And to be impeccable means being without sin. And the only sin that I can see in all humanity is missing the fact that death is the only sin that we should overcome. Death is the only disease that we should overcome. And this, we should dedicate our life to understand that the only reason we are here in this very moment is to overcome death. And let's start from within. Inner death. You have to conquer the inner death. And only you yourself can do this. No help can come from outside. And then you yourself are the only one who can overcome death.
From Theo, he writes in English, is there a scenario where an atom person is responsible, as you just described it, and yet decides to have an offspring?
Cosa significa?
Offspring.
Offspring.
Offspring, yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Yes, for me it's not clear. Does he mean a child? A person is responsible and has a child? I don't understand the question myself.
Yeah, what do you mean by offspring? Or
Yes, he says offspring is a child. So is there a scenario where a person is responsible and yet decides to have a child? It's another way of saying it.
Forse perché tu dicevi che non si possono avere figli con una responsabilità.
I don't know, probably you read something on my book.
Possono essere da solo. Si possono essere da solo.
Probably about to be single or to you can achieve anything by yourself. I don't know what I don't know what to answer because I don't understand the question.
Yes, I don't understand that either. He's writing, responsible in the way you described it some moments ago, as having realization of your inner self. I still don't understand.
Yes, it's okay, let's go on.
Okay, Matteo Caroso, in English. Why I feel that when you speak, we are in a dimension without time, and in other interactions, I don't. Again, it's very difficult to understand the question.
Quando parlo con altre persone sento solo.
That's good. That's good because you identified with what I'm saying, and it becomes your own state of being. This is good. But you see, identification is always bad. You can identify with some evil thing, or identified with some god or goddess. It is both wrong. Identification is the real evil. Stop identifying with your inner states or outer events, and you will be, free. This is what we are looking for. This is good right now, that you feel yourself in a sort of timelessness. This is good. But this has to be conquered by yourself, not with my presence.
Okay, now Caroline Komecki. I wanted to know about your opinion on this pandemic we are going through.
Which is what? My opinion.
Yeah.
It's we are in a public conference, and I don't want to be misunderstood, and I don't want you to follow what I am going to say, but I don't see any pandemic virus, but this is my vision. For me, it's non-existent. It is a description. It is a sort of mediatic news coming from a very low level of understanding, which is medicine, the pharmaceutical industry, from media. They were dying. They were dying. People began to understand that medicine is primordial, primitive, obsolete. That media are all fake. if they do not invent news, they die. Then we are all victims of a lie. This is my vision. Don't take it as truth. My vision is that we are victims of a lie. But, you know, you can say, but then it is true that it's coming from outside? No, it's coming from within. It is your lie, which needs something coming from outside to justify your inner hypocrisy.
No more questions here so far.
No more question. It has been really great questions. Really, I enjoy very much, and I can see that the book arrived to someone, to the right people. And Julia, I'm always ready to accept your invitations for the next time. It was a great thing. There are many people who are asking on Facebook that I will try with my people to answer to all of them, but it will be almost impossible. And I thank you very much.
I thank you very much.
Thank you, all of you.
Accepting our invitation.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you,
Ciao.
Julia.
What's her name? Seren. Ciao. That was great.
Ciao, Elio.
Ciao. Ciao to everyone.
Ciao, Elio.
Thank you. See you next time. Ciao, Fernanda.
Grazie, Elio, sei
Thank you to
fortissimo.
all of you.
See you.
Ciao. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
I
Thank
want
you
to
very
applaud.
much.
I want to applaud you. And that was really great to me.
Ciao.
Special thanks to Betania.
Really,
that,
right? Exactly.
She translates
exactly.
everything that you
that's
say.
Exactly.
much,
Thank you very
Julia.
much,
Thank you.
Betania. Thank you very much, Betania. Really.
Betania. Oh, Betania, you're right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
she translates
All
on the
meeting.
chat, in the public chat on the meeting.
You can accept other questions, Betania, and we will answer in the next few days. Okay? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very
all of
much,
you.
everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Now we stop the live stream and we say bye to everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yes, Pablo.
Ya,